Hey everyone and welcome to Storytime. My name is Jake and today we are going to be looking at the subreddit r/prorevenge. So sit back, relax and enjoy some Reddit stories. Don't pay on time? Alright, let's play that game. My significant other worked at a private school in South Korea, also known as Hagwon. Hagwon teaches all kinds of subjects and this particular one taught English. They would hire native English teachers from around the world to come to Korea and teach English. Although I have never taught English in Korea, I've been in Korea long enough to be very familiar with the laws, practices, and heard numerous horror stories. I am also good friends with a Korean who is a lawyer that specializes in business disputes. So I met my girlfriend. She was on her second contract in Korea at a new school, as the first school she worked at, the owner retired and shut it all down. That was actually a pretty positive experience. He always paid on time. When he informed everyone he was shutting down the school, he'd of course pay out everything agreed upon in the contracts, but also any unused vacation time, sick time, plus he would double that year's bonus as a thank you. My girlfriend told him in her contract she had a free flight home at the end of the contract, but didn't plan on using it. So the owner of her first school told her that's fine, he'll just pay her an extra $1,000 as that is what the flight would cost anyway. So my girlfriend found a second school to work at after her first school shut down, due to the retirement and the owner. However, her second school had some warning signs that I was concerned about. 3 foreign teachers are all on their first year contracts. Typically, if a school is good, you'll get a few teachers who are willing to sign on to a second, third, etc. year contracts. Not the case, which I felt was odd, especially for a school that had been around for years. The school had a pretty low student population count, just under 100. I've always heard you want about 50 students per teacher for cash flow, etc. reasons, unless you're a high-end school. Also, apparently payday was supposed to be between the 10th and the 15th. They said, in case of a holiday or weekend. Oh well, not my business. This was still very early on in our relationship. 2 months into our relationship and my girlfriend is annoyed. I found out that her school has only paid her half salary and will be paying the other half in 1 week. This was a massive red sign to me. I gave my girlfriend advice on what to do at this point. She ignored me and said, "They are just having a little cash flow issue. Some students haven't paid on time." Okay, whatever. 2 months later, we get invited to a dinner, hosted by the owners, a husband and wife. I got off work early and headed over. Red sign number 2. Both husband and wife drove very nice cars. The wife had a Tesla and the husband had a very nice BMW 5 Series. Off we go to dinner. I get to dinner. My goal is to learn as much about my girlfriend's school's owners as possible, so I just jump into pleasant conversation. More red signs to follow. They have 3 kids, 2 younger ones and 1 older one. The 2 young ones attend numerous Hagwons for various things. This is expensive. And their oldest is attending college in America, also expensive. They live in the rich part of town, in a very large apartment, which I was able to find out is financed, aka high payments. They are about to start a new marketing campaign to get more students, as numerous students have dropped out lately. They know they don't have the student population to maintain what they need to maintain. Red signs are going off in my head like this place is heading straight for a cliff, and everyone needs to jump ship now. Not enough students, owners have a ton of bills, they won't be staying in business long. Again, not really my place to say anything at this point, but I took a mental note. Next month, girlfriend pay is late again. Let's just say she kept telling me to mind my own business each time I tried to give her advice. This went on like this for 3 months, and finally she went an entire month without getting her full salary. She got about a third. Final red sign. Girlfriend comes over to a letter on her door of her apartment for eviction. You see, in Korea it's common for the school to pay the rent and provide housing. Apparently they haven't been paying rent. Girlfriend is mad, she's broke and about to become homeless. The time for action is now. Remember when I said I knew what to do? Pro-revenge starts here. I had her check her national pension, tax records, and healthcare information, all of which are legal requirements for her to maintain her visa. Even though her school hasn't paid those things for months, she's required to pay them. I'm fuming ticked. This school is royally messing over my girlfriend, and that's not cool. My girlfriend is distraught because she's a very prideful woman that now has to ask her boyfriend, that's me, for help. I pull into the savings and pay up all her requirements and set up a regular monthly payment to ensure that even if her school doesn't pay, which they haven't, she can maintain her visa. I then ask her for a favor. I want to sit down with her co-teachers. Experience has taught me she's not the only one getting messed over. However, do you know what the beautiful thing about this is? You see, the Korean government is sick and tired of schools bringing over foreign teachers and messing them over. In the past, those teachers who have gotten messed up have gone crawling to their respective embassies, oftentimes homeless, penniless, with nowhere to turn because their employer didn't have the resources to meet their contractual obligations, and many schools were getting shut down, especially on the third complaint. I tell all her co-teachers to keep going to work. They too have to maintain their visas, and I would get back to them in a day or so. Ahem. I am good friends with a Korean who is a lawyer that specializes in business disputes. Remember that part? This lawyer and I go way back. I've known him for a better part of a decade. He helped me navigate my divorce, I gave him a couch to sleep on when he was going through his divorce, I loaned him money, he paid me back, and we both really liked helping each other out. Now, I'll spoil the fun for you. No, this lawyer, my friend, is not going to be suing the school, but... So I called up my friend and said, hey, I want to go drink some soju and talk to you about something and maybe hit you up for a favor. He goes, sure thing. We go to our favorite barbecue place, start pounding back the soju as I explain to him the situation. He's getting madder and madder. He's upset because he feels like this is giving those foreigners a bad view on his country, and he hates Koreans that make Korea look bad. I ask him to help file claims with the labor board, with the goal of getting them paid, getting them a letter of release so they can switch to D10 visas and find a better school, or leave Korea altogether if they choose, and 3, getting the school shut down. Now, my friend wouldn't be suing the school as a government-appointed lawyer would be. Since this is a labor board issue, he really doesn't need to do much. However, when a Korean lawyer who specializes in business law calls the labor board to file a complaint about a breach of contract with an English teacher against a Hagwon, that carries more weight than if the teacher goes through it by themselves. Also, I feels like it helps the communication and eliminated potential language disputes. This would be compounded by the fact if each of those teachers filed separate cases against the same school a few days apart. He agrees to help. Strike number 1. Girlfriend goes up first. My friend sits down with her, collects what evidence she has, calls the labor board, complaint number 1 filed. Bam. Girlfriend goes to school and her boss is ticked. Her boss approaches her and asks her, "How can you betray me?" My girlfriend said, "Pay me my money." Boss asks, "How can you do this?" Girlfriend said she smiled and said, "This is just the start." Strike number 2. Strike 1 is still underway with the Labour Board coming down the necks of the Hagwon owners demanding payment, demanding to know why my girlfriend hasn't been paid. Friend calls the Labour Board, same case manager, and he files number 2 against the school. Next day, my girlfriend and Strike 2 teacher are called into a meeting with her owner and husband. They want to work out a payment plan and give them a letter of release. Girlfriend says, full release in full of all money owed, plus bonus for completion of contract prorated for months completed or no deal. The owner tells her that's not possible. Girlfriend said, that's fine, full payment or no deal. Strike 2.5. My friend finds out what the Hagwon owners tried to do. He advises my girlfriend and her co-teachers if that happens again, they do not engage in any negotiations. They hand him his business card over and tell them if they have a settlement offer, they can call their lawyer. He gives business cards to all teachers. Strike number 3. Bam wham, open a can of worms folks, we are here. Co-teacher number 3 goes to my friend. He calls the Labour Board. Guess what? Same case manager has gotten 3 valid labour disputes over breach of contract from the same school, all in a matter of 2 weeks. This school is now not only a liability to its employees, but the Korean government. The hits land. Labour Board apparently called the school, demands that all salaries, pension payments, taxes, health insurance premiums, and rent be paid in full within 10 days, or the education license and business license will be revoked, and the school's assets will be seized and sold to pay the teachers what they are due. In addition, creditors, etc., who are also very likely owed money, will be paid. Left hook lands. My girlfriend said the next day at school was crazy. The owners were freaking the freak out. Their entire lives were falling apart. They had a government so close to them they couldn't even sit down. That's when the owners decided they would pull all the teachers into a meeting and work out a settlement. Keep in mind at this point, the school owed approximately $20,000 in back wages, healthcare premiums, pension payments, and future liabilities on top of whatever rent was due for all of their apartments, which by this point were all under separate eviction proceedings. The owners offered each one of them $1,500 in cash that day if they would be willing to drop the labor dispute. Each one of the teachers pulled out my friend's business card and said, any settlement offers should be made to my lawyer. I so wish I could have seen this happen. The owners grab the business cards, look at the teachers and go, you have a Korean lawyer? They answer, yes. You all have the same lawyer? They answer, yes. Can you imagine? Have 3 separate legal issues from 3 separate people and finding out the same lawyer is representing each individual suing you. How that must feel. Will you take the 1.5 now and we work out a payment plan? They all say, talk to my lawyer at the same time. They leave the meeting. That night, all 4 of us partied. They all felt like complete winners. Their owners now knew how truly messed up they were. We had a pretty good party that night because the end was near. The owners dodge it for now. The Labour Board was really ticked. According to my friend who was following up with the Labour Board, the process to resolve this was being fast-tracked, and the Labour Board was deadly serious about shutting this school down if they couldn't pay by the deadline. Apparently, the owners were trying to secure a loan to pay the teachers and keep the teachers employed and the school open. They filed for extensions and got some more time. They did pay out partial salaries which helped the teachers get by day by day. By this point, my girlfriend had already been evicted and was living with me, and I was supporting her. She was loaning her partial payments to her co-teachers who didn't have the same support. Sir, it is time to drop Fat Boy. It was a Thursday. My girlfriend had just arrived at work. Yes, she was legally required to work at a school that wasn't paying her. When shortly after, she stated a bunch of Koreans arrived in suits who posted up notices. 15 minutes go by and one of the Korean men in a suit steps inside one of the classrooms, introduces himself and says all the students are going to be getting bused home for today. All of the students are loaded onto the buses and each one given a notice to give to their parents. My girlfriend is instructed to wait until all the students are gone. Process takes about an hour, and then my girlfriend is told she is to go home and the labor board will contact her for the next step. They step outside. There is a moving van with a few Korean men waiting around. My girlfriend calls my friend the lawyer, who calls the labor board. The school has been foreclosed on, their assets are going to be seized and sold, and the teachers will be paid out of the proceeds of the sale. If the school doesn't have enough assets to cover the salaries, payments, etc., the government will seize any assets of the owners to pay. The teachers now had a judgment, and the courts are going to collect and pay out on it. The dust settles. 2 months later, one of the co-teachers opted to fly home my girlfriend and the co-teacher that decided to stay in Korea. Found much better schools to work at, and my friend calls me all excited and told me he just got off the phone with the labor board. Enough business and personal assets have been seized and sold to pay all the teachers what they are due. Each teacher will have $300 deducted for the lawyer fees. Not for him, he did this all for free, but for the government lawyer who handled the case behind the scenes. Also, the owners have been permanently barred from ever opening a business, and the education board has barred the owners from operating in any school setting again. No idea what happened to the owners after this, but life goes on. My girlfriend and I took a nice vacation on her back pay and put the rest in the bank. It felt good to win. Wow, they are so lucky they had that contact of the lawyer, especially they'd only been going out for 2 months as well. Like, she would have been completely messed over without that. Hey everyone, I hope you all had a really good day and that you enjoyed that video. If you want to check out some other videos, then click on screen right now or check out the playlist down below. If you enjoyed that video, then please do leave a like. And if you want to submit your own stories, then you can do so by joining the Discord in the top link in the description. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon.